The house was silent when I realized I was awake. Not the normal kind of silence. This silence felt intentional, like something had pressed a pause button on the world. I lay still, staring at the ceiling, listening to my own breathing. The air felt heavy, thick in my chest. I didn't remember waking up. I didn't remember falling asleep either. Slowly, I turned my head toward the clock on my bedside table. It wasn't moving. The second hand was frozen between ticks. I picked up my phone. The screen lit up instantly. 3:18 a.m. No notifications, no signal, no sound. I tried to lock the screen, but it didn't turn off. Instead, a message appeared, typing itself letter by letter. "You're awake again." My throat went dry. I sat up slowly and looked around my room. Everything was exactly where it should be. Bed, desk, chair, door. But the shadows were wrong. They were stretching too far, reaching places they shouldn't reach. The corner of my room looked deeper than before, like it didn't end where the walls met. I swung my legs off the bed. The floor was ice cold. The moment my feet touched it, I heard something. Breathing. Not mine. It came from the corner. I held my breath. The breathing continued. Slow, steady, patient. I whispered, "Hello?" The breathing stopped. Then, very softly, something whispered back, "You weren't supposed to hear me yet." The voice didn't come from the corner. It came from inside my head. My phone vibrated again. "You should lie back down." "No," I whispered. The lights flickered once, twice, then went out completely. Darkness swallowed the room, but I could still see something darker moving within it. A shape unfolding itself slowly, like it was learning how to stand. I backed toward the bed until my knees hit the mattress. The shape spoke again, this time louder. "You always wake up early." "What do you want?" I asked, my voice shaking. "To finish what you started." "I don't know you," I said. The shape tilted its head. "That's what you said last time, too." The door to my room creaked open on its own. Beyond it wasn't the hallway of my house. It was a long corridor, dimly lit, stretching farther than my eyes could follow. Doors lined both sides, hundreds of them, each one slightly open, each one breathing. Yes, breathing, in and out, in perfect rhythm. My phone buzzed again. "Do not close any doors." The shape stepped closer. It was tall, unnaturally tall, its limbs bending the wrong way. Its face looked unfinished, like someone had forgotten to add details. "Come," it said, "you're late." I shook my head and tried to run. The moment I turned, the floor dropped away. I fell, not down, but sideways, through darkness filled with whispers. "Don't scream. Don't remember. Don't wake up yet." I landed hard on my feet. I was standing on a street, an empty one. Streetlights buzzed overhead, flickering weakly. The road stretched endlessly in both directions. I knew this place. I had walked here before, in dreams, in nightmares. My phone was still in my hand. A live video was playing. It showed me walking from behind. I turned around. There was no one there, but the video continued. The version of me on the screen suddenly stopped walking. Slowly, it turned its head toward the camera, toward me. Its face on the screen smiled. My phone vibrated violently. "Don't stop walking." I took a step forward. Footsteps echoed behind me, one step behind, exactly one step. I walked faster, so did it. The streetlights behind me went out one by one, swallowed by darkness. Ahead, the road narrowed, bending unnaturally, like something had twisted it. The breathing returned, closer now, right behind my ear. You can't lose me. You're already mine. I ran. The world blurred, the streets stretched and twisted, doors appearing where buildings should be, windows filled with faces pressed against the glass, eyes wide, mouths open in silent screams. Every face looked familiar, too familiar. They were all me. I tripped and fell. The footsteps stopped. Silence pressed down again. I pushed myself up and realized I wasn't on the street anymore. I was back in my room. Morning light leaked through the curtains. Birds chirped outside. Everything felt normal. I laughed, shaking, relief flooding my body. Just a nightmare. I checked my phone. 3:19 a.m. 1 minute had passed. My door was open. I always close it. I stood slowly and walked toward it. The hallway was dark, too dark for morning. I stepped into it. The door behind me slammed shut. The hallway stretched longer than it should have, bending at impossible angles. The walls pulsed softly like they were alive. A voice echoed from everywhere at once. "You're still not awake." "What are you?" I screamed. The walls answered. "We're what listens when you're quiet." Doors along the hallway burst open. Hands reached out, too many hands, grabbing, scratching, pulling at my clothes, my skin, my thoughts. I tried to scream, but no sound came out. My phone buzzed in my pocket. I pulled it out with shaking hands. A final message appeared. "You can wake up now." Everything went black. I gasped and sat straight up in bed. Sunlight filled the room. My alarm was ringing. Morning, real morning. I checked the time. 7 a.m. I laughed weakly and wiped tears from my face. I stood, stretched, and walked to the mirror. My reflection was smiling. I wasn't. My reflection leaned closer to the glass. "You didn't wake up," it whispered. I felt breathing behind me, slow, patient, exactly 1 step away. And this time, I couldn't move at all.
Midnight Hollow. Subscribe now for more horror stories.